What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today's a sad day, ladies and gentlemen. You see, official news has come out. Star Wars Destiny is cancelled. It's over. We regret to announce that with the release of Covert Missions, the Star Wars Destiny product line will be complete. That's it. No more Star Wars Destiny. And that's a little bit sad, because if you follow the channel over here on Wossy Plays, you'll notice that we've recently done a few box openings. And we've just done a couple of card analysis videos. Just earlier today, I dropped my first ever, hey, here's a deck I'm excited about making video. And no sooner had I dropped that, than I go to my dad's to celebrate a family birthday. And I get home from said family birthday. Well, actually, I didn't get home while I was at the family birthday. My phone goes off. I check my phone. Star Wars Destiny is over. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with Star Wars Destiny, we'll take a quick look at what it is. And whether you're familiar or not, we'll talk about some of the reasons why this might be happening. What I'd like to say at the beginning, straight off the bat, I know this is a bad thing. I know this is bad news. I know that this is immensely disappointing. But we still had many sets of a really good game. The game existed. The game was here. It sucks. Absolutely sucks that the game has gone away. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't be happy that there was, for a while, this awesome Star Wars game. Also, if you are looking to play Star Wars Destiny, you're likely to see some boxes popping up very, very cheaply over the next few days and weeks. So at least you'll be able to get a taste of the game. So what does FFG Fantasy Flight Games, the makers of Star Wars Destiny, what do they actually say about it? They say that Star Wars Destiny launched in 2016 with the innovative dual dice system, enthralling players with game mechanics that were quick to learn but difficult to master. Bringing iconic Star Wars locations, ships and weapons to life on your tabletop, Star Wars Destiny let you step into a galaxy far, far away through 9 sets of booster packs, 6 starter sets, 2 draft sets, and a 2-player starter set. These epic skirmishes have cultivated some of the most passionate fans in gaming. We're extremely proud of what we have accomplished. However, the upcoming Covert Missions booster set will be the last product produced for Star Wars Destiny. Destiny products will continue to be sold on the FFG website as long as stock remains. And that is probably the case with your local game store. They will still continue to sell it while they've got it. Now, in less cheery news, I don't know what the deal on ordering stock is from your local game store, but if you are planning on not picking up anything that you've ordered for the new set because the game is ending, please be nice and tell your local game store as soon as you possibly can. They might be able to cancel the order. We don't want all of our local game stores sitting on lots of unsold product. That doesn't help anybody. Now, it's not actually all bad news. You see, organised play is carrying on. There is going to be a World Championships at the beginning of May at the FFG Centre in Roseville, Minnesota. And that's still a thing. There's still going to be a World Championships. And there is still going to be one more kit. There is going to be an Echoes of Destiny kit, which is going to support a series of Trilogy sealed tournaments. And there is going to be a special tournament that will provide participants with 1 copy of every card and die from Wild Horizons, the unreleased 10th set of dice and cards. That's still exciting to me. Now, don't get me wrong, it sucks the game is ending. You've seen on this channel, I've been getting into the game. My goal has been to get into the game and learn more about it and start turning up to tournaments. This is terrible news. But as a silver lining, there is a 10th expansion, and there is going to be a tournament where you can rock up and everyone will get a complete set of the unreleased set. That's cool. Now, as a side note, if you're into Star Wars Destiny, we haven't got details as to how to get that. Get along to that tournament. Because if it's only kind of big fans that rock up, they're going to buy these and they're going to sit on them. Or they're going to play with them. And some people are going to want 2 sets of these because the whole 2 cards per deck of each kind. Or 1 character card with 2 dice. That's the limit. So a lot of people are going to want 2 of these sets. these are likely to be extremely difficult to get hold of in a couple of years' time, so if you want them, go and get them now. So what is Star Wars Destiny? Star Wars Destiny is a trading card / dice game. When you buy booster packs, you get 5 cards, one of which is a rare or legendary card, and that rare or legendary card comes with a dice. And then you build a deck of 30 cards with characters of up to 30 points and one battlefield of your choosing. In that way, it is very much like the Transformers trading card game. You pick your characters of a certain value, either lots of small or a couple of big, and they start the game out in front, and then you have your deck of cards, which really just helps your characters to do their thing. There is obviously a large element of luck with it because it is based on rolling dice, but there's plenty of mechanics to let you re-roll dice or manipulate the roll of dice, add more dice into your pool, take dice away from your opponent's pool, and a really fun mechanic whereby you roll the dice, but then you resolve all the melee damage at some point, all the range damage at some point, all of your disruption, discarding your opponent's cards at some point. So the dice are actually sitting out there, ready to be resolved, but unresolved for a little while, which does make for some interesting back and forth. It is still an extremely fun game, and if you can find yourself, over on Magic Madhouse at the moment in the UK, you can buy the 2-player starter set for £6. It is very, very much worth a look for £6. So, why did it go away? What were the reasons that it went away? Well, look, I don't know, alright? There is a very, very, very small number of people that actually knows what happened, alright? It's a very small number of people that actually know what happened. But I can give you some ideas as a man who is very big into trading card games and has been a professional business lecturer for the past 12 years. A little bit longer. Now, there's a really good website, icv2.com, and they publish a list of the top 10 collectible games every 6 months. Now, we should be approximately 2 weeks away from them publishing autumn or fall 2019. In spring 2019, Star Wars Destiny was rocking there in 10th place. It's on the list, it's in the top 10, but it's there with stuff like Vanguard and HeroClix that are not known for setting the world on fire. It's some way away from the big boys of Magic, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! And even Keyforge, which is also made by FFG. So it's there in the top 10, but the sales numbers weren't phenomenal. They were fine, but not phenomenal. Now, it is interesting to note that actually, when it launched, if we look at fall 2017, for instance, it's up there in 5th place. It's doing really, really well. So is HeroClix, incidentally. But then, by the time we got to even spring 2018, it's down in 10th place. Fall 2018, it's up in 9th place, and then, like I said, spring 2019, it's back down in 10th. Strong start, good start. But after that, it couldn't keep up with some of the bigger games in terms of pure sales. Here's the thing. The Star Wars license. You see, it is Star Wars Destiny. Now, as a man who has endlessly researched the Pokemon trading card game, I can tell you that working with a license is significantly more difficult. The thing is, the Pokemon Company owns Pokemon and the Pokemon Company owns the card game, so everything works in sync, making life a lot easier. FFG, Fantasy Flight Games, are given a license to produce a Star Wars game by, well, now it's Disney who owns Star Wars. And what that means is that they've got to run everything past Disney. Because Star Wars is a huge brand, it's a very profitable brand, and at the end of the day, this card game is a very small part of it. So, Destiny, it really does need to go past the Disney approval process, and that is going to make things significantly more difficult. And, of course, expensive. The Star Wars license ain't cheap. So with all of that borne in mind, you really need a very successful game in order to actually do this. And it probably just got to the point where it was no longer worth it anymore. Now, at this stage, there's probably a bunch of you going, well, hang on a second, Wossy. Don't FFG also make Star Wars X-Wing, the miniatures game, and Star Wars Legion, the miniature game. Yes, they do. Here's the thing. If we look at the top 5 non-collectible miniatures games, they're number 4 and 5. The only ones in front of them are Dungeons and Dragons and Warhammer. Well, you ain't going to beat Warhammer 40k and Age of Sigmar, which is non-40k at this stage. So, frankly, that was kind of a given. To be 4 and 5 means they're doing very, very well. Maybe running a small line of miniatures is easier than making a set of 180 cards. Maybe there's more money in miniatures than there are in card games. Maybe Legion and X-Wing are just doing better comparatively, and that's the reason that they've stayed around. The reality is there's only really 3 reasons why a collectible card game would stop being made. Number 1, the designers have reached a natural conclusion of the game. There is nothing more they want to do, and they've chosen to end the game because that's it. We know for a fact that that is not the reason Destiny's ending. How do we know that? There is a 10th expansion. There is a 10th expansion that has been made, which is being given out at special tournaments. Well, if there was a natural conclusion, they would announce the ending with set 10. So we know it's not a natural conclusion. We know it's not a, this is all we want to make, we're done. So basically, there are 2 reasons why a game like this would end. Number 1, the license. Either Fantasy Flight Games doesn't think it is worth having the Star Wars license on this game anymore, or for whatever reason, Star Wars doesn't want this game to continue being made. Again, I have no inside information, I'm just telling you the logical conclusions here, and we'll never know if this is the case. Could be, could not be. Reason number 3, money. The fact of the matter is, if we look at Fantasy Flight Games, Legion and X-Wing are doing better than Destiny. Keyforge is doing better than Destiny. From all outside signs that I can see, Marvel Champions seems to have had a very strong launch. They've got other games. And if Destiny isn't pulling its weight, maybe that's the reason. Here's the thing though, I want to end on an optimistic point here. I want to end on a happy point. FFG make games. It's what they do. So, at some point, there are going to be other games. Whether they're Star Wars or other, there are going to be other games. And they're probably going to be just as cool as Destiny and Keyforge and Marvel Champions and all these really fun games. And if that's not reason for a little bit of optimism... Now, again, I'm not saying this is happy news. This is bad news. Destiny as a game is awesome. I love it. And I was really enjoying getting into it and learning to play. I'm going to get myself down. If nothing else, I'm going to get to one of those tournaments where we get the 10th set. I need to get that 10th set, all right? I'm getting to that tournament. This news sucks. But you know what? There is a 10th set coming. There's still a World Championships. Covert Missions, a new expansion, is still coming out in a couple of weeks. There is a 10th set that you can get by going along to a tournament, and there's going to be more awesome games from FFG in the future. Even if you want to stick with Star Wars, there are 2 excellent miniature games still made by FFG. I ain't saying this is good news, ladies and gentlemen. I am saying that every cloud, even the blackest, most depressing of clouds, usually has a silver lining. So there we go. Destiny's gone. That sucks. Hopefully I've helped to explain what Destiny was for those that didn't know, and why this probably happened. And hopefully, maybe even injected just a little bit of optimism into things in the proceedings. But make no mistake about it, I'm sad about this. But I'd like to hear your Destiny memories. Let's keep it nice, let's keep it cheery, let's keep it positive. Tell me cool things about Destiny, tell me your memories of playing, of meeting people, of going to tournaments. Let's have a lovely little storytelling session in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, where we talk Transformers and Keyforge and a bunch of other games you might want to get into now that Star Wars Destiny has gone away. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching a very sad Wossy plays.